Hi guys, welcome. My name is Infamy, and today I'm going to be post-commentating my LC seasonal games. Now, just a heads up, there's not going to be any music in this video, because I was originally using these supposedly public domain recordings of, various jazz, because, I felt like jazz just suits kind of the mood, you know? But unfortunately, my video got 4 different copyright strikes, copyright claims rather, and while I'm pretty sure that those are mostly or entirely bullshit, I don't want to have to dispute, 4 copyright claims every video, so no music for the time being, but my voice is melody enough. So, this is my first game. This is Winner's Bracket, top 32, and it's against Tezzy, who's supposed to be a pretty good player. He's friends with Alteriel Von Sweep, who is also a cool dude, and I talked to him, before and after the battles, and he is a cool dude. I like him a lot. So yeah. So, I look at his team, and he brought a fairly typical webs. He has Web Setter, he has Elekid to beat birds, he has Spin Blocker, and he has, Defog Blocker, and then he has 2 good mons, basically, to abuse the webs. And on my team, I was gonna bring a serious team. I asked, all my friends for teams before this battle. But then I was like, hey, YOLO, right? So I brought this team instead. And so, yeah, so this is my team. And I look at his team, and I say, hey, I'm gonna lead off with Magnemite, so that I can Volt Switch out before he gets his webs, go to a Pokemon, and Shell Smash, and hopefully win, because if he gets webs up, my chances of winning go way, way down. So he leads with Surskit, and I'm like, alright, that's cool. So I Volt Switch out, but it turns out he's Choice Scarfed, which is a cool set, and, good on him for using a cool set. So I realize, hey, at this point, basically my only Pokemon that can win is Dwebble, because Dwebble has 15 speed, which means it hits 22 at +1, which is what it's going to be, because it's at -1 right now. And none of my other Pokemon outspeed Elekid at +1. So I realize I basically have to smash with Dwebble, and hope that I can win with that. So I go into it, he goes into his pawn, and he clicks Knock when I Shell Smash. And now here, I'm actually carrying Substitute. And the idea is that usually you can substitute into Berry Juice range and, get back to full. But here, I just substitute so I can avoid the Sucker Punch. And here, here's the important play of this game. This play basically decides the game, I think. I Shell Smash up again, because I know I'm not going to be able to KO most of his Pokemon at +2, but at +4, I can basically KO everything. So I Shell Smash up again, and, expecting the Sucker Punch, and here, fortunately, he doesn't want me getting another Smash, so he decides to Iron Head or Knock Off, which was a good play, because if I'd smashed, and he Iron Headed or knocked off or whatever, then basically it would come down to a bunch of Sucker Punch 50-50s, and he's more likely to win those, because he has, 8 Sucker Punches, and if I lose any one of those, I lose my Dwebble. So he goes out to Elekid, and that just falls over to an EQ. And then he goes out to Frillish, and Frillish, it actually lives this Rock Blast, because it's a 2-hit, which is, and he's running Berry Juice, which is a cool set. I like it. But, so yeah, he manages to break my sub, but at this point it's too late. I go for the EQ, so I don't miss there. And now basically I just have to not miss versus Snivy, and I don't. And that's essentially good game. Because even if Minfu didn't die to EQ, which it might not, it's actually a roll, I have a lot of other Pokemon to beat it. So, yeah. So that was game 1. That was pretty fun. I was kind of proud of myself for winning. And here's game 2. Fuck, what? Oh, right, so, yeah, so he brought this, Tortuga team, which is pretty cool. Pretty simple looking team, from what I can tell. And I brought this Dark Spam Balance, which is built around this core of Vullaby and Scraggy. And basically, it's basically just 2 Dark-type setup mons, and a Balance core, and an Onix. So I decide I'm gonna lead off with my Staryu, because that has a pretty good matchup against most things he'd want to lead. So I lead with this. Oh, I also gave him Nyx, which is one of the reasons I brought the team. And he leads with Tortuga, so I just T-bolted, and Solid Rock is an absurd ability. Now, I don't want rocks getting up, and I'm willing to, sack my Staryu for that. Now, luckily, he does not have Aqua Jet, in which case I would have just lost my Staryu right there. But, luckily that's not how it turns out. So, yeah, Staryu doesn't really do much other than, hit Vullaby now. So, he goes into Vullaby, and I'm like, oh, I'll just T-bolt this, but he reveals that he's Scarfed, which is very good information now. He goes Minfu, I go, Larvesta, and I'm just gonna Flare Blitz here, because I want to get good damage. And now I'm gonna U-turn out, I actually crit him here, which kinda comes into play. Because he reveals that he is, Fire Punch, actually, on his Snubble, as I go into my Fungus. So, that is quite a prediction. I guess not really, but basically, Fire Punch Snubble was cool. So, I just, I go back into, Onix here, because I want my rocks up. And he Sludge Bombs me here. And I only take 5%. So now, I don't want to sack my Onix just yet, because I've got checks. So I go back to my Larvesta, as he makes me take a nap. Which is, I mean, I'm cool with that. Because, Larvesta's getting a little tired, and he's done some good work. So he goes Minfu here, which I'm not sure what the logic was. I guess he might have been expecting me to switch back out. Because he switches, into Snubble here. And, so I'm just gonna try and wake up. Because, if Snubble hits me, it gets a burn. I clicked, Morning Sun here, right? Because I didn't want to give him his berry juice, because right now I'm thinking, if Vullaby gets a nasty plot up, it can basically just win. And I don't want him to be able to thief me, either, which he'll be able to do if he loses his berry juice. But, so I do end up just breaking that, getting him below 50, because I figure, I can just go out into Fungus and get damage on this, because as long as this is not at full, it's not going to be able to beat, it's not going to be able to take a +2 air slash from Vullaby. So, I just Sludge Bomb him, and that gets a poison, which is nice. And then he just goes back to his own Fungus. And on my Giga Drain, because I wanted to get some health there. So I'm just gonna go back to Larvesta, because I figure it can absorb the Spore, but it actually gets to it KO'd by Sludge Bomb really easily, which I did not realize. But that's cool. So, Fungus is, Fungus, basically, what I'm doing here is I'm gonna sack my Scraggy so I can get the knockoff off on the Fungus, and so he can put something to sleep. Because now, he has, nothing lives a +2 hit at this point from Vullaby. And, he can't put it to sleep now. So, I'm really happy about that. So he goes to... so I want to preserve my Scraggy, so I can keep that asleep. So he goes to Ghastly, and he has actually his Will-O-Wisp variant. Now, I get a 5-hit Rock Blast here, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But it's not really a big deal. It doesn't come into play, I don't think. So he realizes that he wants to keep his Ghastly. So, as I just Rock Blast again. And here... Okay, I actually, ate dinner between recording the first battle and this, so I forget what I did. Okay, here I go out into my own Fungus, because I think I can just throw off a Sludge Bomb and hit basically anything other than Ghastly. And Ghastly, I know that I can break its sub with Giga Drain, right? So he just sacks his Fungus, because it's really not doing anything with Scraggy asleep. And, yeah, now he goes Ghastly, he tries to set up a sub, but I'm just gonna Giga Drain that. I don't want it doing anything, any funny business. So, he does 2-hit KO me with the Sludge Bomb, but luckily I get the Giga Drain recovery. And now, I'm gonna sack my Onix, cause I figure if I sack Onix... Why am I sacking Onix? I figure I don't need Onix for anything, because my Vullaby lives a hit from his, and it can just set up. So, yeah. So the idea was basically just to get some regen with this thing, in case, yeah. But, so here I actually make a slight misplay, and I sack my Fungus. What I should have done is I should have sacked my Scraggy, because that's asleep, that's not going to be doing anything. And this can still check Foo and, Snubble. That's what it's called. So, this is actually a bit of a misplay here, but it doesn't end up mattering, because he kills me, and I just go into my Vullaby, and I click Nasty Plot, which is what I've been preparing for this whole game. Vullaby, actually, I've been told is how it's pronounced, by user Jack. So, yeah. So, that's basically good game, because I just Nasty Plot here, and as long as I don't miss an Air Slash, that's the game. So I Dark Pulse here, because I don't want to miss Air Slash. And, here, this is why I should have sacked my Scraggy, because if I missed Air Slash, he would have killed me, and Scraggy would have lost to his last 2 Mons. But luckily, I don't, so that's nice. And then I just Dark Pulse this, right? And that's good game. So, these were some fun battles. I had a really good time playing Tezzy, and he seems like a cool dude. I'm gonna try and be his friend, because I like making friends. And yeah, so that's the end of the video. I hope you have a very pleasant day. If you did enjoy, you should like and comment and subscribe. And if you don't know what to comment, and you're thinking of like not commenting because you don't have anything to say, just comment, "Every day we stray further from God's light."